Now, something that I was a little bit that I was surprised by was that, again, they didn't even discuss the players too much when it came to the casting couch setup. I feel like a lot of what they said were like cold takes, to be honest. What did Stay say? Stay said that he expects like 2 Protoss in the playoffs. I mean, I think everyone expects 2 Protoss. Like, we're looking at Hero and Classic to be the 2 to make it through. So I feel like we had some cold takes, Pappy. When it comes to Reynor versus Maru, I do favor Reynor coming into the series. In general, I feel like, I mean, I've been very vocal about this, about how Maru, his play has been a little bit shaky this year for reasons, of course. We spoke about how Maru, he was getting ready for military service at the start of the year, so he was playing a lot less StarCraft. That's why he was less in form at the start in GSL Season 1. Coming into GSL Season 2 in DreamHack Dallas, Maru, he was very cheesy. He was very cheesy, very all-in. He did nothing but 2-base all-in against Protoss. He did nothing but 8 racks against Zerg. That's what led him to his win at DreamHack Dallas, and that is where Solar hard countered him at GSL Season 2. So Maru has been very predictable in his play. Now, my big question coming into this tournament, coming into EWC, is that trend going to continue? Is Maru still predictable? Is he still going for the same styles? Or has he evolved? Has he grown? Has he adjusted in the months from DreamHack Dallas, from GSL Season 2 into EWC? That's what I'm here for. That's what I want to see. That's what I'm curious about. Because if he's playing the same, Reynor wins. I'm heavily leaning towards Reynor in this series if Maru is still playing the same way. But I would hope that that isn't the case. I would hope that Maru has been actually, you know, devoting his time, practicing, improving, and we'll see some different play out of Maru coming into this. They were joking about Cyclones earlier and Mech. I would not be surprised to see Mech at one point in the series. We have already seen Maru play Mech before in the events leading into this tournament, so he has mech'd it up in the past. We've seen Maru play Mech, Beyond play Mech, a lot of the other Terran players may play Mech as well, so we expect it at some point in this series, not in every game, but at some point in this series nonetheless. Let's go. Here we go. But again, I do apologize for the stream going down. Do apologize. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. But yeah, no way, but the stream did suddenly die earlier. But yes, we are getting ready. They were showing off the videos earlier. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see the videos just because of the technical issues, but it should be on Wikipedia. Exclamation might be in the chat to have a look at the back yourselves. And looks like we have the vetoes. We have Last Fantasy, Incorporeal, Pylon, and Torches. So some relatively standard vetoes. Game 1 is going to be on Persephone, followed by Ultralove, Maganatha, Tokamak, and Leylines. Okay, so I would say this is a much more standard veto process. We're not getting Torches, we're not getting Last Fantasy or anything too crazy, we're not getting Pylon, we're not getting Incorporeal either. So these are the more standard maps we expect. When it comes to the smaller maps, that is where we expect something like Araxes out of Maru. When it comes to the larger ones, that's where we are hoping for something different. That's where we might see Mech out of Maru as well. Persephone is going to be an interesting one. I do think that's kind of like a little bit more in the middle of the road. But here we go. Persephone is coming up first, and we are getting into game number 1. Let's go. Predictions up after the series starts. As always, predictions after the series starts. So we're enjoying the map. Let's go. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the Italian Zerg player. We have the red Zerg representing Basilisk. It is Reynor. And in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have for Team Vitality. It is Maru. Let's go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chats as we get into our TvZ. back-to-back Terran versus Zerg, and again, a lot of people have been looking forward to this series, to this match, and likewise, my eyes are mainly on Maru. When it comes to his playstyle, again, Maru has been very predictable in his play in almost every matchup. I would say his TvT has been more diverse, has been more impressive, but his TvP and TvZ has been very one-note. As of late, over the past couple of months in this year of play. That is why a lot of people's expectations of Maru were a little bit lower coming into EWC, but we'll see how his preparation comes into play, comes into form. We shall see. As we have our initial openers, so far Rax Expand, standard opener out of Maru. Likewise, Reynor going Hatch, Gas Pool. Now, when it comes to Reynor's play, something that we have been seeing more of as of late is his TvZ, specifically during KSL and during the during the Woody TV Monday as well last week. We saw a unique style of Ling into Ultra, even greedier than what we've been seeing out of Solar. Remember, Solar, he was going for a lot of Roach heavy openers, Roach heavy style into Hive, into either Lurker or Ultra Tech. We've seen something similar out of Reynor, but more greedy and more abusable, I will say, is going pure Ling into Ultra, pure Ling. And when I say pure Ling, I mean no banelings either. Like such greedy play out of Reynor. And we saw that he was able to make full use of it and actually catch players like Beyond off guard with it. But after players got used to his style, after players got a little bit more comfortable and more practiced against Reynor, that is when they could find holes where they could abuse Reynor and shut him down. So I'm not too convinced by it, to be honest. Ooh, third TC before Starport. So economic opener here out of Maru. Does go for a standard economic start. CC is going to be on the low ground. And we'll see how he does follow this up. Coming into Persephone is one of the more interesting maps in the map pool as well. Is a little bit more extreme. Like, we have seen a lot of shorter games, we've seen a lot of longer games as well, just because it's a little bit easier to cut the map in half. I do feel like Maru is typically one to go for shorter games. Typically. But for now, there it is, second factory. So we knew that Maru was going to play mech at some point in this series. I was expecting it on Tokamak, I was expecting it on Maganatha, I was expecting it on some of these larger maps. Here, we're kicking things off on Persephone with mech, with battle mech. Let's go. So second and third factory on the way, getting to Hellion, getting to Cyclone production. Now remember, Reynor, he said it himself, he called Maru out. What did he say? He said, yo, I'm ready for the Cyclones. Let's go. Right, like, give it to me, papi. Give it to, okay, give him the Cyclones. We'll see if that was all hot air or if there's actually some weight behind Reynor's words. We'll see if he's ready for the mech. As Reynor does spoken with the Overlord, ooh, he has limited information. He does not scout the second factory. Likewise, Hellions are kept hidden here from Reynor's eyes. So Reynor, he does not confirm the mech, not yet. Does go for the safety Roach Warren, thankfully. Does go for the Roach Warren. And again, mech should be in the back of his mind. If you didn't watch GSL, if you didn't watch GSL Season 2, then you might not be aware of this, but Maru, he has been playing mech. He did play mech in GSL as well. He played mech against Solar, and he got punished for it. He got shut down, if you recall. So we'll see if he goes for it, or we'll see if Reynor can shut it down. I mean, Roaches already is going to be a strong start for Reynor. We can see that Maru, he's rushing into not Macfield Accelerator, he's rushing into Blue Flame. Yeah, Hellions are going for a dive, the wall is open. And Hellions are trying to force their way through the Lings. Yeah, they're getting into the mineral lines, working towards a natural. Eva Chamber wall is thrown down, but Hellions, they're pushing their way through. Going into the main. Yeah, they dive into the main base. Drones are going to be going down. And Reynor, his link production was delayed. He had no wall at the natural. And so far, 5 drone kills, nothing major. Nice reaction so far. Nice reaction, nice response. Yeah, Reynor, he's droning, and he cleans this up. Wow, he will clean this up. This was a big commitment here by Maru. How many drones did he get? 5. Only 5 workers. That is not good enough. Again, that was a big investment. So many Hellions were thrown away, and Reynor holds. So you can see here, 12 Hellions for only 5 workers. Ay, ay, ay. Sure, he trades with Zerglings, but Reynor, that's what he wanted. He got away with greed, got away with cutting worker or cutting army production. From here, Reynor in a strong position. Now we have Macfield on the way. Reynor starting roach production. If he didn't know before, now he knows for sure. It is mech. Is fully aware. So far, Maru, he does rotate, trying to gain that map control. Getting into a Cyclones. At least Maru, he's maintained his own economy, true. His economy has been secure. Now reinforcing with Cyclones. Meanwhile, Reynor, he hasn't been able to join up too much. Getting into his roach production. Going for a delayed 4th base. As we can see Maru rotating. Does rotate over towards the 4th. Reynor, he's ready for a surround. Uh-oh. Yeah, he is ready for it. Yeah, you can see the Lings being activated. Oh, Maru, he doesn't stick around though. Okay. Good move out of Maru, he pulls out. If he committed there, he would have lost everything. 100%. He would have lost the entire army. As Reynor, he had laid the trap. Maru does not take the bait. Instead, he backs off, he rotates. At the same time, Reynor going for the roach drop. Dropping into the main. At the same time, Reynor ready for the run by. He's ready for it. About to pull the trigger, dropping into the main base. Yo, the slow drop lord. Ooh, the Lings are premature. They run into the army. Stronger defense out of Maru. And Reynor in a bit of trouble here. But he does unload. Gets into the mineral line. Denies SCVs. Catching out some of the Cyclones. Nice catch here by Reynor. Gets 1, 2, 3. Oh, almost up to 4. 3 Cyclones. Takes on 3 Cyclones. Tunneling into the natural. Getting a couple more SCVs. Tunneling into the 3rd as well. And so far, yeah, I mean, he is pulling Maru apart. Does pull him apart. Gets more SCV kills. Jump going to be forced out. And Reynor, he's maxing. He's maxing out at this point now with Viper Tech, with Hydra production as well. Again, the Tunneling Claw Roach is doing an amazing job here, just keeping Maru busy. Again, with Battle Mech, you want to be active. You want to be active. You want to be fighting for creep. You want to be pushing towards the bases. But Maru has been stuck at home. The creep is still a little bit lackluster, is what I will say for Reynor. Has been lackluster. But the Vipers are soon to arrive. And then we can abduct. Nice Locons. Locons on the Queens. Hatcheries under fire. And what are we going for? Again, there's a handful of tanks going for the abductions on the Cyclones. But that's still such a brutal tank line. And here we go, Maru. He's going for the kill. Pushing in between the bases. Here come the Blinding Clouds. He does cover 3, 4 tanks. He covers all the tanks. Oh no! The Vipers get caught out. Oh, and Reynor, he may not have enough here. It's still quite close, but yeah, he doesn't have enough. Tanks, they overwhelm. And Maru, he will break through. Reynor, he just did not have enough on the ground. Even without the tanks, the Cyclones. He said he was ready. No, you're never ready. No for the Cyclones back. As Maru, he wedged himself in between the bases. He overwhelms the Roach army, forcing his way further in. And again, Reynor, he barely didn't have enough. It was close. It was close. Was a decent surround. Was lacking Zerglings, lacking a way to close the distance. Yo, let's go. The Tunneling Claw Roaches. Just trying to sneak past the army. They cannot on burrow. They cannot break through. And GG gets called. Maru, he will start things off with a win. He will take game number 1. Whew. GG, well played. Maru, he does take a lead in the series. Again, Reynor, he did have a decent start. He was able to shut down the Hellion dives. He was able to maintain himself. It did take him a long time to drone though. I will say that. His 4th base was late. It took him a long time to drone up. I did really like the Roach harass. And hey, the Vipers did come out in time, but the surrounding engage was a little bit lackluster. We saw him, he was able to blind and cloud the tanks, but the Cyclones, they were the real problem, the real issue. And unfortunately, Reynor, he was going Roach Hydra, he was not going Roach Ling. The Roach Hydra made it look like he was expecting Battle Mech. It made it look like he was expecting Battle Mech with Banshee support. That's the only reason to get Hydras there, but it wasn't Battle Mech into Banshee, it was Battle Mech with tanks instead. That's where Lings would have been more useful, that's where Roach Ravager would have been more useful. That was a bit of a misread here from Reynor going into Hydras the way that he did, as the Hydras didn't really add much support to the army, they didn't really add much to the force he was going for. GG. GG, well played. With that, Maru takes a lead, and now we're getting ready for game number 2. Now, game 2, we're going to be loading into Ultra Love, a much smaller map of the map pool. This is where something like an A-Rex can hit harder. This is where I don't expect mech. As I mentioned before, like in my mind, mech is more map based. Maps like Persephone, maps like Maganatha, Tokamak, Leylines, those are maps where I can see mech be a little bit more useful. Meanwhile, on these smaller maps, I can see a more aggressive bio setup thriving a lot more. So my eyes are on Maru here. I'm expecting something like an A-Rex 3-base all in, but we'll see. We'll see as we load into Ultra Love. Here we go. As we are getting into that next game, and spawning in the bottom hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the Italian Zerg player. We have the Red Zerg representing Basilisk. It is Reynor. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran. It is Maru. Ooh, and Maru opening up 2x Reaper. Let's go. So 2x Reaper open out of Maru. Reynor opening up pool first. Oh, interesting. Now, pool first opener here is going to be interesting. Oh, okay. It's pool into gas into a delayed hatchery. With this early gas income, we can go into earlier link speed for an earlier link flood, or this can lead into earlier roach production. Really curious to see what this gas is going to be spent on outside of just link speed. So late hatchery out of Reynor. This will be an interesting dynamic. It's going to be interesting, as Reapers are going to be amassing. Technically, Maru has the option to go for a 3-rack setup and go 3-racks mass Reaper, but here just 2. Only 2 axes. And we have the answer. I was curious, what is the gas going to be spent on? We can see roaches, not link speed. So no link speed, not a Bane Bust. He's going for an early roach rush. I'll be honest, I haven't really seen this dynamic too often here. So we have the early roach rush against mass Reaper. Okay, I mean, the Reapers, they should be able to scout and confirm what's going on at least. And from there, Maru, he can react with a bunker, assuming he scouts. As the Reapers, they poke forward. They confirm the late expansion. He knows something is wrong, something is amiss. And we'll see how he reacts. Like, if you've been watching Bjorn, especially 2 years ago, like Bjorn, he would have really strong responses to this. Typically, you would go for early tech lab into Marauder production with bunkers on the low ground. To hold. But Maru, now he confirms. Yeah, now he sees, now he knows. He does spot the roaches, he does pull back. And back at him, there it is, bunkers are on the way. No add-ons. So he's going for his bunkers, going for his marines. We can see that Reynor, he's droning, he's not all in. He's only moving out with a handful of roaches, and he's droning up. So very light commitment here from Reynor. Very light. I think it's only one Roach, one Ravager as well. Jesus. Yeah, so he doesn't move out across the map. He doesn't poke in. Okay, there's one more Roach back at home. One Roach at home to defend. Reapers are getting to the middle line. They got one drone. One drone goes down. Reynor, he does keep up. He does focus on 2 Reapers, not bad. And again, from here, the game will continue. Now, because of the 2 racks opener, this should lead into bioplay. This should lead into a strong stim timing initially. Oh, never mind. That is mech. Are we just going to see mech? Are we just going to see mech every game? Like, if we're going for mech on Ultra Love, then there's no reason not to play mech in every single game at this point. I'll be honest. Yeah, there we go. Second factory. So just these racks is only being used for add-ons, from my understanding. Wow, okay. I mean, this is a really unique opener. Because of the initial 2 racks Reaper, right now, mech is not in Reynor's mind. It wasn't in my mind, right? It wasn't in my mind because it doesn't make any sense, right? Like, if you already have a bio setup, it makes sense to make use of that and get into that bio follow-up. So right now, Reynor's in the dark. He doesn't really know what's going on. He's going to fast +1 carapace. Fast +1 carapace, this reads that he's getting ready for a 2-1-1. He's getting ready for bio when it isn't bio at all. So he has to figure out what's happening. For now, he's still droning. There's still no link speed, bear that in mind. We spoke earlier how in game 1, it does feel like Reynor misread the composition of Maru and was getting ready for Banshees when really it was just battle mech into tank. And now he knows. Yeah, he sees the floating racks, now he knows. I mean, he sees the cyclones as well. So he's aware what's going on. You can see the cancel. Yeah, he cancels Carapace, starts +1. This is late +1 out of Reynor. As we were trying to emphasize, Carapace screams bio, a defense against a bio army, but it wasn't. So late upgrades here from Reynor. Late realization. Let Cyclones do punish. And Reynor, he's trying to pivot here to help deal with this mech. Yes, that's a lot of roaches going down. And again, there's no links to threaten this. Like, there's nothing to threaten Maru. Just free damage, free roach kills. Oof. I mean, roach speed is almost done, but so many roaches are going down. As Maru does kite back. Picks off 3 more rats. Oh, God. And this is snowballing out of control. As Maru, he's just gotten so much value out of these cyclones. As from here, he backs off, he rotates. We can see Reynor trying to go for a counterattack. He does break out. He does break free. Ah, nice around. Very nice. Okay. Surrounds the army, cleans up the Hellions. Does that position Maru. Yeah, clutch burrow. And Reynor, he finally gets some breathing room. Whew, he can finally breathe. Now we have Ling speed on the way. Remember, Lings were something that was missing in game 1. But now we're finally getting into Ling Roach Ravager, a much more solid standard composition to help deal with mech. The game is slowing down. I do feel like Maru's in a better position. I mean, Maru has the greater economy. He's building up the larger army. Once again, he's switching into tank production, not into Banshee, which is where Ling's going to fare better for Reynor now. Getting into Ling Roach Ravager. So I do think that Reynor, he has a better response this time. But I don't know if he can break Maru yet. We'll see if he can catch out these Cyclones. As he does get one. Once again, nice burrow. Doesn't save all his roaches, but it's a good way, it's a good alternate way to kind of break these lock-ons. Is to burrow. Behind the safety infestors, Hive is in production. As we have more burrowed roaches fanned out. Vipers are going to be a must here. Especially against the eventual tank push. It's Reynor going Ling Bane Roach Ravager. There's Baneling Nest on the way. And Maru, he will soon... I mean, the goal for Maru is just turtle. Just turtle up and then max out. Turtle and max. Or an ultra love, so the rush distance by gun is shorter, so it's not going to take long at all for the army to start pushing once Maru does decide. See, he does see the Hive is on the way. As Cyclones move out, Lings, they attempt to move in, but there are tanks in position. Maru setting up. Setting up, he's rotating over towards the right-hand side. Oh, never mind, here comes the main push. And remember, he scanned earlier. He saw the Hive was just now finishing. So he knows the Vipers are not ready. Now is his time. Pushing pre-Viper tech. And moving through this choke point is not easy. Still looking for a way across. Yeah, that's spot the army. Keeping up with the Zerglings. Vipers, they're just now popping out. Now, did Reynor buy enough time? As Vipers are still gathering energy, going for the neural. Not quite able to slow this down. Neuraling whatever he can. Okay. A bit of a messy fight. Meanwhile, nice thing run by. Yeah, Lings, they slip into the natural, they slip into the main. Catching reinforcements, mineral line is falling. And nice fungal here on the Cyclones. As you can see how better this Ling army is trading. Catching out more Cyclones, catching out more tanks. And that's going to be 29 SCV kills. Maru's economy is crippled. Reynor, he can remax, he can keep going. Can't keep going, the tanks are exposed, and Reynor, he will hold. Ooh, he will hold on. And again, you can see just the disparity here in army composition, how well this is working for Reynor compared to game one. Not wasting any money on Hydras. Just Ling Roach Ravager. As he backs off, he rebuilds. Maru is forced all the way back home, and this is giving more time for Reynor to remax. Remember, he was on 84 workers. He has a booming economy already. Time is on his side. So Reynor just getting more and more comfortable here. Again, it was still a very intense early to mid game. Like that was the scariest moment with Maru almost breaking through, pushing pre Viper tech. It was a very messy defense from Reynor, but he defended. He defended. Got into his Zerglings. Yeah, Leagues A coming from behind. They force a bit of friendly fire. Reynor though, he needs more Zerglings. Yeah, he's under a lot of pressure here. The base is going to be broken. He has to back off. And he did so well harassing across the map, but yeah, he will give up the base. Gives up the expansion. The tanks are exposed. Okay, free damage. Gets 3 tanks for free. Takes down all the tanks, but the big issue here is the Cyclones. Once again, it's with the Cyclones, they hold their own, they stay on the ground, they take down 2 expansions. As he catches out more roaches. Oof. Yeah, that's 4 more roaches going down. You see Reynor sharking around with those infestors. Looking for the fungals. Here, barely catching out the army. Nicely done. You can see once Reynor has those Zergling reinforcements and nice neurals as well. Reynor, he defends on the right, but bases are going down on the left. Reynor, he just cannot expand. He needs a base, Pappy. He needs a base. He needs a hatchery. Yeah, and he won't be able to. He won't be able to expand. Maru, he did lose a bunch of workers early, but he's rebuilt. He's rebuilt at workers. He has a booming economy now. He's on 85 SCVs plus mules. Yeah, Maru, he got himself back into this. Going for a split push. Reynor, he defends on the left and on the right. Reynor, he's holding on. Oof. Oh, God, God. Yeah, those lock-ons are brutal. The lock-ons are brutal. Does catch out some of these Cyclones on the right-hand side. Gets 3. Takes down 3 Cyclones, but oh god, the punish is just, the punish is brutal. Ay, ay, ay. Here come the infestors. We need those fungal growths. We need to lock down the army somehow, some way. Oh. Tanks are exposed once again. Tanks are exposed. Takes down all 3 tanks. Nice skin here out of Maru. Does spot the infestors. Ooh. Oh, it kills 1! Does squish an infestor. With the Rux. Now there's no fungal support. He needs those fungals. Oh, that's a lot of roaches going down. Again, just a very messy fight. Fungals popping up. And they lock down the army. That's what Reynor needs. Likewise lands a couple of neurals, takes over the tanks. A better setup here from Reynor. Pushing on the left, catching up more tanks. More tanks going down. A neural from across the screen. Let's go. Jesus. Oh, nobody ever extends. That's a lot of infestors going down to 2. Yeah, a bit of miscontrol from Reynor. Bleeding out a lot of infestors. From here, he has to pull away. Now, my big concern here, like, yes, Reynor, he's been trading with the army, but the economy here is still untouched. Like, Maru, he's still on 88 SCVs. Reynor, he has to keep going. He has to keep going. He can't stop. That's Reynor, who's at least barred denying some of these expansions. Getting his own economy back up and running. Maru up to 92 SCVs. Maru overmaking SCVs at this point. A little bit concerning. As the game is slowing down, both arms are maxed. We have a spiral on the way for Reynor. They should be working towards Broodlords. It is a little bit late, but again, it's just been a really intense game. Very intense. Very back and forth. There's been strong moments for both players. Maru now going back into heavy tank production. It's going to be a lot of tanks. The lack of Vipers is concerning. No, as oh, is the stream okay? No, the stream. Okay, we're back. As we have the picture-in-picture. Maru, he's maxed out. He has a heavy tank count. Remember, no Vipers. Does go for the mass neural. Does mass neural. Target firing here for the tanks. Cyclones are going down, but he cannot push into that tank line. Oh my god, the tank line is brutal, and that was a rough fight for Reynor, pushing into a massive wall of tanks. 20 infestors going down. Jesus. And Maru, he's pushing through. He's pushing through. Does break through here. Lings, they coming from behind. Let's go. Lings, they coming for the surround. Where are the Cyclones? Yeah, the Cyclones are not there. Nice reinforcing Lings. Reynor, he shuts down the tanks. The power of the Zergling. Let's go. As he cleans up every single tank. Whew. Yeah, takes down the tank line. Gets into the economy. SCVs are finally going down as well. Takes down 20 SCVs. And despite the shaky fight, despite the rough fight there from Reynor, with the Remax, he was able to deal with that tank army. Reynor back in the driver's seat. Again, it's been a roller coaster ride of a game. Very intense, very back and forth. And I want to favor Reynor here just because of that economic damage, but Maru, he's going into the ideal into mech alongside Ghost support. So Ghost mech is like the ideal late game Terran army that you want in TvZ, and Maru, he's almost there. He's almost there. Again, a big issue for Maru this game so far has been the spellcasters, whether it's Vipers, whether it's Infestors. But that's what the Ghosts are for the EMPs. For EMPs and snipes. Once again, Ling run by, catching out 2 tanks. Does scout the Ghosts. At the same time, pushing on the right hand side as well. Going for the CC. That's a kill. Kill on the CC. Mass neural on the Cyclones. And again, this is just a really unique way that we've seen from Reynor to just deal with these Cyclones. Just mass neural. And it's been working well. It's been working well here. Better than Fungals. Like, Fungals, they lock down the army, but to be honest, Cyclones more for them all. They can just stand and fight anyway. They just stand and fight regardless. So why not just turn the Cyclones against the Terran? You can see Maru, he's running out of resources. So despite the lower SCV count, it's still mining pretty efficiently. Lings, they catch out more of these tanks. Another couple of tanks going down. As Reynor does catch another tank on the right hand side. Broodlords are amassing, getting ready for, Corruptors are amassing, getting ready for Broodlords. The Broodlords are getting ready. He's getting there. This is where the Ghosts are going to become a really big problem though for Reynor. This is where Infestors are crucial. Infestors are going to be crucial here as Broodlord production has begun. Maru is still defending here. On 5 bases, on 6 even. Hellbats are trading well for themselves. As Maru, he's pushing once again. Pushing on the left hand side. Broodlords are revealed. Yeah, the Broodlords are revealed. Workers, they try to evacuate. Reynor out of position. Uh oh. Catching out some units though. Who's really out of position at this point? Catching out a handful of tanks. Reynor, he bleeds out 16 drones when he remaxes with more Zerglings. As hatcheries are going down, these are the most crucial mining bases here for Reynor. Oh, the EMPs! No! Oh god, massive EMPs! Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, Reynor, he was stacked. Not like this. No fungals remaining. No fungals, no neurals. At the same time, nice thing run by, but he's attacking the factory. Okay, he's A moved on the factory instead. There we go. Does take down the Thor. Takes down the Thor, but a rough couple of moments here for Reynor. There's a scan for the Zerglings. Reynor losing 2 expansions and a mineral line. Just trying to get his bases back up and running. Taking top left. And he needs that expansion. More Vipers are on the way. Has to regather that energy. No, that's that's direction at the start of the game. Finally gonna go down. But again, Maru, he's been refining his army quite well. He's got a Hellbat, Tank, Thor, Ghost. Jesus. I think most of the Ghosts survived. As the army rotates over. Yeah, Reynor, he cannot save this expansion. Another base going down. Yeah, there are 8 ghosts. There's still 8 ghosts remaining. Oh. Nice catch. Takes out one of the Thors. Catching out the Medivacs. Nothing major here, but he gets a Thor. Gets a Medivac. Nice little pickups here for Reynor. And this is what he needs. He needs to just catch Maru off guard every now and then. Peeking for a couple units at a time. Because that main army is terrifying. Maru, he rotates. It's so difficult to catch this army out on Ultra Love just because the center of the map is there's just so many choke points. So many choke points. So difficult for Reynor to engage. He cannot push in, not like this. Maru likewise looking for a way through as well. Maru does push through. Fungal grazing the army. Yeah, decent fungals here on that. I mean, the fungals, they don't matter if there's no follow-up. Yeah, Ghost up, popping off massive snipes here on the Broodlords. Down to 2 Broodlords remaining, and you can see the tanks, they just annihilate the ground army. Right, pulling back. Does land a couple of snipes. I believe that's the final Broodlord. Infestors out of energy. We have some blinding clouds. It's going to be close here. Lings are coming in to reinforce. And the reinforcing Lings, barely enough. Once again, Reynor, he will clean up the army. Not with his main army, but with those Ling reinforcements. Whew. Again, so crucial to clean up all the Hellbats. Reynor, he takes the fight. He holds. And here come the mass swarm of Lings. Heads into the mineral line. No planetary. And no planetary. Mineral line is going to go down. At the same time, I'm loving the changelings looking down those Thors. And again, things were looking rough there for Reynor. And again, Reynor, he could not take the head-on fight, and he couldn't. But with the reinforcements, though, with the Remax, does catch Maru out. He traded well enough. As the army size is still quite comparable. Maru is still in this. He has no economy, and Reynor should be able to like out macro and or just remax that much faster. Before that happens, so Maru does push. Get a couple of abductions. It does abduct the ghost. Nice fungal. The ghost. 5 ghosts going down. Massive pickups. And no ghosts remaining. Just purely a mech army at this point. Just a couple of cyclones, a couple of hellbats. Reynor, he has to respect it though. He has to back off. And Maru's all in. Maru, he's down to 4 SCVs. 4 SCVs remaining. Oof. Still a terrifying army. It takes down the Viper. It takes down a couple of infestors as well. Uh-oh. Reynor, we have to calm down. He has to back off. He has to calm down. Cyclones, they still trade well, but remember, this is the final army for Maru. He's running out of steam, running out of army. Here come the Ling reinforcements. And Reynor, he holds, he survives. And he'll make a series out of this. He'll make a series out of this. It was a very intense game number 2, very back and forth. Remember, this started with 2x Reaper, and GG gets called. Reynor, he ties things up 1-1. Whew, what a game 2. What a game 2. Crazy, crazy. GG, well played. Very intense, very back and forth. Honestly, there were a lot of really rough moments for Reynor. There's a reason why they kept zooming in on his face. Like, there were a lot of really rough fights and really rough moments where he was losing momentum, where he was losing a lot of steam, where Maru was taking better fights. Where Maru had the better economy of Reynor, he hung in there. He was able to hang in there. Able to bounce back. He had a really impressive and really unique kind of style against the battle mech as well, relying heavily not on fungals but on neurals instead. Relying quite heavily on neurals to neural the cyclones, neural the jets, just really mainly the cyclones. And whenever he could reset that cyclone count, whenever he could reset the hellbat count, that's when Lings could clean everything else up. But again, really intense game 2. And now we're getting into game number 3. Oh boy. That was wild. What a game. Now, something that, if you remember, I did mention in game 2 that I stand by now is that if Maru opens 2x Reaper, and if he goes mech on Ultra Love, it's possible that we might see mech every game. It's very possible at this point that he might not stop. We'll see if that's the case as we're loading into Maganatha. Here we go. We're loading into Maganatha, and spawning in the right hand corner, we have our Italian Zerg player. We have the red Zerg. It is Reynor for Basilisk. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have Maru for Team Vitality. Here we go. Whew. Here we go. So we have Maru opening up CC first. So economic opener here out of Maru. Meanwhile, hatch gas pool. Sorry, my apologies. Going pool gas into delayed hatchery here for Reynor. Okay. Okay. Is going for a bit of a cheekier build here. Just like last game, if you recall, Reynor, he rushed into early roaches. In game number 2, we saw that because he got scouted, he only opened up with 3 roaches, or 3 roaches, 1 Ravager. Very light commitment out of Reynor, if you remember. Again, it was a crazy start to the game. It was 2x Reaper against 1 base roach from Reynor. This time, though, it is a greedy start out of Maru, which means Reynor, this build, he can excel. He can achieve a lot more damage, assuming he will go for another roach warren as well. As Maru is being greedy. There we go. Link speed is all the way. He stays in gas. He does stay in gas. So this looks like an all-in. From here, Reynor, he can go into either an earlier Bailey Nest or an earlier Roach Warren. But again, you do not expect gas this early on. and to stay in gas as well. So very aggressive by Reynor. Very aggressive. As Maru's going for his factory. Getting into its Hellion follow-up. Again, gas is still being mined. And what's it for? Again, is it for the Baliness? Is it for the Roachhorn? Is it for the lair? Oh, meanwhile, double factory. Yep. As we mentioned, I mean, there's a reason why I brought it up. If Maru were to go double Reaper into mech on Ultra Love, I expect mech every game. At this point, every game. And here we go, mech once again. Ooh, meanwhile, it is not a Roachhorn, it's not a Baliness. We have the answer. It's going to be a lair. So fast lair out of Reynor. This I'm a little bit concerned by. This could be, if we take more gases, this could be Ling into Muta, right? This could be Muta. Otherwise, something that I would like is this could be a Ling Queen Nidus all in. True, we could just go full dark. Not quite Ling Queen Nidus all in. It's going to be a Ling Queen Drop a Lord all in instead. Okay. I miss dark. But here we go. He's going for the Drop a Lords. He's going for the all-in. Now, how well does this perform against Mass Hellion Cyclone? That is the question. I mean, Hellions, they trade well against Zerglings. It comes down to how many Hellions are going to be exactly. Without Roaches, it's going to be a shaky all-in by Reynor. It is possible if he can get us around. Drop Lords are coming. More Queens are building up. And here come the Drop Lords. Yeah, they're about to load up. They're getting in position. Now, ideally, Reynor, he wants these Hellions to be out on the map, right? He wants them to be out on the map. Maru, he did see Overlord speed. That was a tell ya. Bunkers are on the way. Solid read out of Maru. Very solid. And here we go. The Hellions are in position. These Lings, they're going to get roasted. They try to dive in. The Hellions, they just annihilate the Lings. And there's a wall. There's a full wall here at the natural. Queens, they drop off. Oh god, Drop Lords are going down. And Maru, he's shutting this down completely. He shuts this down. The Lings, they achieve nothing. They get 5 SCV kills. Oh god. I wasn't too convinced by an all-in without Roaches, to be honest. He's getting some SCVs, okay. Shout out to these 3 MVP Zerglings. And hey, he takes down the depots. He's getting some damage. He won't end the game, but he's getting some value here at least. As Reynor, he has to get the hell out of here. Does pull away. Hey, he denies the natural base with a creep. And Reynor's droning. Oh boy, and he has quite a lot of droning to do. He's droning, he's saturating. Oh, Queen's dropping into the main. Okay. Picking up some more SCVs. Lings, they go back into the natural. They're going for the mules. Last round, none. Not yet. A little bit too soon. And Reynor for now going into Lingbane. He's still droning, he's still saturating, he still can't quite afford Roaches. I'm sure he'll want to get there. And this is going to be a tight hold here for Reynor. Oh boy. As Lings, they come in for the surround. It takes down 6 SCVs. Forces back the army, not bad. I was worried about the counterattack, but no, Maru, he comes back home. Okay. Does race back home. This has not worked as anticipated. I mean, I thought that this was going to be a cleaner defense out of Maru, so I would say this is working better than anticipated for Reynor. Like, I thought that was going to be shut down much harder, but... You know, Reynor, he's found some damage here and there. Not the damage he was hoping for, but found some damage. As here comes Maru's push. And this is the real test for Reynor. Can he hold? As he has no expand. Oof. Again, Reynor is still stuck on link main. It's not ideal against Battle Mech. Like Reynor, he cannot win a head-on fight. So he's avoiding it as much as he can. He's trying to expand, trying to take a third. Smart does force a cancel. Now, if Reynor can somehow surround the army, you can see the Lings are getting ready, but against Blue Flame Hellions, like he just cannot. He cannot surround. He cannot engage. He's gonna try to, but the Lings they get roasted. GG gets called, and Maru he'll take a 2-1 lead in the series. GG. GG, well played. Again, it was a very quirky build out of Reynor going for a Link Queen Drop-a-Lord all-in instead of going for the Nidus all-in. Interesting against Mech, against Battle Mech, as we saw against Mass Hellion. Like, he just could not engage. He could not get the damage he was hoping for, could not surround, could not wreak havoc. The all-in kind of fell on its face. Now, I was impressed that he was still able to get some SCV kills and still deny mining at the natural. So it did more damage than we thought that it would, but still not enough to really gain the momentum that Reynor really wanted out of it. Reynor maybe getting a little bit caught off guard by the mech that Maru was going back into. Maybe Reynor was hoping it was going to be more standard 1-1-1 instead, which this is designed to shut down. Like, again, if Maru was going for a 1-1-1, if we're going into Banshee, into a bio composition with some Hellion support, then this could have excelled, but it was more mech, right? It was more mech instead, and it looks like our players are going on a break. They're going to be going on a break here. Again, Maru, he is one game away from claiming the series. Reynor, he has to fight back here and now to bring it back, and what is going to be the next map? Ooh. Tokamak. Okay, so Tokamak is going to be coming up next. I do favor Reynor there, so I do actually like how the series will progress, as the next game should be Tokamak and then Ley Lines. I do think those are better maps for Reynor, but I also think that at this point we're probably just going to see pure mech out of Maru. It's really just going to keep on happening. So we'll see how Reynor can handle himself, as he will take a moment to take a breath and to, I'm sure, convene with Lambo. For now, though, we're going to be going on a break, and we'll see you guys soon after the break. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Esports World Cup at day number 3, 2025, StarCraft 2. We are mid-series here between Reynor and Maru, and we are jumping in. Maru, he's up 2-1. One more game, and he will make it through into the playoffs. Reynor, he has to fight back here and now to force the ace match. The pressure is on as we load into Tokamak. Oh boy, one of the larger maps, one of the more macro maps of the map. Well, here we go. Spawning in the left-hand corner, we have the Italian Zurich player. We have representing Basilisk. It is Reynor. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran. It is Maru. Here we go. Whew. And again, it's been an intense back and forth series so far. Some crazy games. Game 2 was a banger on ultra level, of course, but then we had game 3, which had it was a bit of a shaky all-in out of Reynor going for a Link Queen Drop-a-Lord all-in. I don't think he was really expecting mech again, and I wasn't either. I mean, kind of. I did mention that, you know, hey, if we see it on ultra level, we might just see it every game, and now I still stand by that. So we'll see if Maru does embrace mech again here coming into Tokamak. It's what we're expecting at this point. We'll see if he does meet those expectations. Meanwhile, Hatchcat's pool standard opener out of Reynor. Now, Reynor, he did ask for a break, of course, did need a moment. We did hear that Lambo, he has now taken the role as coach for Reynor, so he has been trying to support him as best he can, and we'll see if he had any wise imparting words for Reynor for that break, and we'll see if Reynor can kind of centralize himself a little bit here. Calm down, take a breath, take a moment, and try to force that ace match. We'll see how he will adjust. I do like the idea of just going for a standard opener, getting into the mid game, and getting into a more comfortable position. Again, we're on Tokamak. Like, this is the map. This is Reynor's map. This is his map that we expect him to thrive on, to build up on, get into a sort of economy, and have a bit of a more comfortable mid game. So here we go. For now, we have our initial racks into factory. We're expecting a third CC. We'll see if we throw down earlier factories before the third, as the Reaper does poke in. So far, Reynor is keeping up. So far, so good. There it is, third CC before Starport. Economic opener here out of Maru. And we are waiting for that second factory. Aye, aye, aye. We're waiting for the second factory at this point. And there it is. No surprises anymore. Second factory, we're going into mech. Again, if you recall, this is something that we did say about Maru at the start of the series, is that Maru is a little more predictable as of late. That's I would say one of his biggest hindrances in StarCraft 2 this year has been the predictability of Maru, but at times it may not matter. Meanwhile, over time, Reynor, of course, has been adjusting, is going for a roach opener. So it's going into roaches. A little more aware of what his opponent is most likely going to embrace. He's a little more aware. As it is going to be faster, not Blue Flame, but faster macro accelerators. Overlord does go in for the scout, does confirm the second factory. Now he's aware. And so this time it's going to be an earlier scout out of Maru, an earlier realization of what's going on. Back at home, he's already getting his third up and running. He's got his Evo chamber, he's walling up his natural. So he's got the Roach Horn, his Evo chamber, he does have that wall, he's set up. And again, Reynor is looking a lot more comfortable here. He even has a drone in position to fully wall off that natural base. Maru, he is rotating so far, is going to be zoned back. Reynor is keeping up. Maru does come across the fourth. But again, mainly a Hellion army. Gets on top of the expansion, getting a lot of damage. Can he force a cancel? Uh-oh. Yeah, Reynor is a little bit late to react. And the base is going to be denied. Massive pickoff. Ay, ay, ay. Maru, he already has momentum. I mentioned earlier that this game, this map should be where Reynor gets comfortable, but so far that is not the case. I do like Burrow. Burrow's on the way. With this, he has pseudo blink, so he can micro against the lock-ons and break the lock-ons with Burrow instead. Burrowing individual roaches one at a time, or one at a time. Smart, he does head over towards the triangular third. Jesus. Flashing lights. Nice pick up though. Yeah, Reynor shuts down one of the cyclones. Maintaining his creep. Once again, pulling away, taking his gases. Still building up his upgrades. Trying to maintain that creep as best he can. He has to save that fourth base. He was already forced to cancel it once. He cannot lose it again. As your load falls, that does supply block Reynor. Yeah, brutal supply block. Reynor moving in. Meanwhile, a big shout out to Zingerburger in the chat. Oh my god. That's a Zingerburger in the chat. Gah, papi gah. Hope you have been enjoying the broadcast. Hope you enjoy your night. Hope you've been enjoying your KFC. Maybe. But thank you. Thanks so much for subscribing for the first time with Twitch Prime. Thank you. Do appreciate it. Good night. Now you're making me hungry, but yeah. From here and just now getting to our Signiva chamber, the 4th base is getting up and running. Reynor, his economy, it's getting there. But again, he was contained on 3 bases for so long. But now he's showing up to 80. Hellion dive into the mineral line. Oh, doesn't go for it. Doesn't commit to the dive. Reynor instead he sneaks out, going for his own Roche counterattack. Tank production has begun, and tanks together in position. They're in position, the 3rd base is safe and sound. Maru, he's turtling up. Yo, I'm loving these burrowed roaches, though. He has laid a trap. Yeah, you can see him moving into intercept. Trying to surround, but not quite able to. He's rotating over. Oh, can he catch him out? Oh, does he unborrow in time? Oh, he misses it. He wasn't quite paying attention. Does miss the unborrow. That was so close. Casito, baby, casito. As now Reynor getting into Link Speed. Getting into Link Bane Roach Ravager. More standard kind of setup. We can see that Maru's actually taking up faster into Ghost production. This tells us he's just going to turtle. Yeah, he's just going to turtle up. He's just going to build up a mech army. He's going to max out. Reynor, he's the first to max, and it's now the pressure's on Reynor to trade. Like Reynor, yes, he's maxed, but what does he do with a maxed out army? He has to trade. He has to try to break some of these bases, get into a mineral line, and make use of this army. Otherwise, it's dead supply. From here again, Reynor, he's still stuck with a maxed out army. He's building up a bank. This is concerning to me. I mean, it's not easy to break a 4-basing player on Tokamak, but he has to do something about the 5th. The 5th is on the way. And it's getting up and running. I don't feel like Reynor can let that happen. Yeah, the 5th base is getting up. The tank line is spreading out. Reynor is now taking up into the Spire. In towards Broodlords. And even though Reynor, he's been up 50 supply, Maru's catching up. He's slowly catching up, slowly maxing out. Nice catch on the Hellions at least. Does catch him out. But yeah, Maru, he's just building up his ideal. We have nukes on the way, Thors, more ghosts. Like again, Maru, he's so willing to just slow the game down and just get into this kind of a late game. A nice move here from Reynor. Gets a couple of tanks. I mean, this is what we wanted a couple of minutes ago. Does get into the mineral line. SCV's going to be going down. Not bad. Here come the Bailings. But he runs into the tank line. Has 3 tanks going to be going down. Not bad. Takes down 3 tanks. Takes down 22 SCVs. Very nice push here by Reynor. And again, this is very necessary. Very necessary damage. As Reynor, he backs out, he remaxes, and he has to do that again. Like Reynor, he has to keep doing that. He has to keep pushing in, trading, and taking down base after base. As roaches are burrowing in. You can see them on the minimap. Yeah, they're getting on top of the tanks. And he's hoping for 3. He gets at least 2. He gets all 3. Okay. Takes down all 3 tanks. Bailey's going to roll into the mineral line. SCV's going to be going down. The planetary as well. Yeah, and Reynor, he's in the driver's seat. Let's go. Again, this is what he needed to start knocking down bases. Here he denies some of these mineral patches. Rotating back around. This time rotating towards the right-hand side. And again, Maru, his armor supply still is just not quite there. He still needs more time. You know what? The space is very exposed. Getting on top of the tanks. Once again, he wants at least 2 tanks, and he gets both of them. Takes down 2 tanks, takes down a couple of SCVs. Maru, he's now finally maxing out. Okay, now it's go time. Now the main armies are soon to clash. Reynor, he has the Spire, but he has yet to get into any Spire upgrades. So some of those upgrades are a little bit lacking. He at least has 3-3. So far, Reynor rotating once again. Once again, this base is completely exposed. Yeah, getting 1, 2, 3 tanks. Going for the planetary. Chasing down some of those ghosts, but the ghosts, they should get away. Despite that, the base does fall. Nice snipe. Takes down the planetary, pulls away. Reynor, he can't just keep remaxing, rebuilding, and do that again. What Maru's hoping for is for one of these fights to go his way. Again, time and time again, Maru, he has just not been in position. Reynor's been doing a great job rotating, just rotating back and forth. Finding those weak points. Speaking of, even here, punishes the Cyclones. This time, though, he cannot push into this area. I mean, there's a lot of Thors, a lot of tanks. We'll see if Reynor can find another way in. Let's take on the Vipers. Decent blinding clouds. Oh! Decent blinding clouds. But it looks like Maru, he was able to take said fight. Going for his own nukes. Yeah, nukes across the map. Vipers are being rebuilt. Looks like we skipped ahead like a minute or so. Maybe 30 seconds. That's things that do some of the mineral line. Again, Maru did take that fight. And Maru, he can start working his own bank. He's getting there. Still needs more time. Yeah, collapsing in the army, catching up these unsieged tanks. Uh-oh. Yeah, tanks are on siege. Where are the ghosts, by the way? Where's the rest of the supports? Yeah, tanks are going down. Ghosts now coming in. More tanks to be falling. Maru just not in position. As now the ghosts arrive. Now the ghosts arrive. Takes down the hatchery. And as long as Reynor keeps trading, he should be in a decent position. Just has to keep trading. Keep pushing in. As Maru, he has his gold. As we mentioned, like, his own bank is slowly accumulating on the side of Maru. Ooh, I see he's secure. See he's secure on the right. Tanks are exposed on the left. Takes down 2 tanks. Maru takes over the center. Yeah, Reynor sees an opening. Moves in once again, takes over the top side. Ooh, so he even piles down one of the CCs. And Maru, he just sends it. He just sends it across the map, takes out 1 hatchery, going for 2 more, going for 3 bases. Bold move here by Maru. And we're going for a pseudo base trade. And remember, Reynor, he can afford these losses. Maru cannot. Yeah, production's under fire. Ooh, Bile's gonna hit with the SCVs. And Maru's just being torn apart. He's racing back home. Exactly what Reynor wanted. Yeah, Bile's connecting with the Liberator. And from here, Reynor now can back off. He can pull away, he can defend, he can re-expand. He saved most of his drones. Save most of them. As another hatchery is going to go down. Oh, the 1 Hellbat drop is being so annoying. And Maru, he does have another base up and running. That's the base on the right. Reynor, the lack of production here is actually a little bit concerning. Specifically, the lack of larva. Takes down another expansion. Like, again, Reynor, he has a bank, but he cannot spend his money. He needs more bases. Uh-oh. So this is actually still quite close. Still very close. Zings, they move in. They catch out more free tanks. That's another 2 tanks going down. Jesus, that is a terrifying army. And Reynor, he cannot fight that army. Yeah, instead going for the base trade. He will lose 1 hatchery, instead he's going for the other. It's a nice mining at the CC. Gets into a mineral line. Jeez. Getting 4 more CV kills. Yeah, Reynor, he is in a concerning position. He needs these bases. Yeah, larva is still just a big issue here for Reynor. He has to spend his money. He needs the larva. There we go. We have 10 Broodlords on the way. 5 Infestors. It's going to take a long time, though. And here comes Maru. Nice Sonic Claw Roaches. He denies the center expansion. Broodlords are morphing in. Does connect. As Reynor, he'll lose another base. Maru, at this one, he's pretty all in. The reason why I say that is just his economy, his worker count. His worker count is non-existent. And the ghosts are just not quite there. As it's down to a handful of ghosts. The Viking production has begun, but the Broodlords, they can be the nail in the coffin. Piles down the CC. And Maru, he just cannot keep this up. He cannot maintain himself. Not anymore. Still very intense, despite the fact that Maru, he's been on the back foot for most of this game. There's still been some very intense moments, regardless. Gets into the middle line once again. Gets more CV kills. Not even getting supply blocked. As long as they just keep counterattacking, they just keep going across the map. Gets into more mineral lines, gets into more bases. And Roach is not moving in. Mass Hellbat's not going to be enough. And Reynor, he should be okay here. It's still going to be quite dicey just because of the Ghost Army. But with good enough control, Reynor, he should be okay. Comes down to the Fungals. As Maru knocks down 2 more expansions, 3 more expansions. Jesus. 3 more hatcheries going down. Maru, he's down to 16 SCVs. Again, there's no economy. There's nothing back home. Maru does turn around though. He turns back around. Looks like Reynor's doing. I mean, Reynor, he's been ahead for most of this game. As I mentioned, like Maru, he's been behind since almost the beginning. With Reynor maintaining a lead. Like, there have been some really shaky moments. Like, Maru, his rotations have been impressive. He's been knocking down bases, but he's never been able to really end the game. The biggest concern for Reynor has been his larva, for sure. Like because so many hatches have been going down, the larva has been the biggest concern for Reynor. But here we go. Bailey's they crash in. Fungals do connect. We got a couple snipes popping up, but there it is, the Fungal, the Ghost. Does end the Fungals. Yeah, Fungals, they keep connecting. Broodlords are moving in, and the Broodlords, they will reign supreme. Without snipes, there's no answer. GG gets called, and Reynor, he will tie things up. We are going to the ace match. Whew, GG, well played. We are going to the ace match. We are going all the way to game number 5. Again, some really impressive rotations out of Maru, as we were emphasizing. Even though Maru, he was playing from behind for almost the entire game, he was doing a great job at knocking down hatcheries and limiting the larva and limiting the economy of Reynor. Reynor, his bank was being whittled away at. His bank was getting smaller over time, and likewise had limited larva, so his army was having a hard time remaxing and rebuilding. But in the end, Reynor, he was just on point with his counterattacks. He was so impressive when it came to his run bys, his counterattacks. He was able to punish Maru time and time again. Even though Reynor would be losing bases, even though he'd be losing hatcheries, so would Maru. Maru would also be losing mineral lines and CCs as well, and it was hurting Maru more than Reynor, because Reynor had more map control. Reynor, he had more bases, he had more drones, he had a greater economy despite losing all those expansions. GG. GG, well played. And with that, we're going to the ace match. And again, as you mentioned, this was meant to be Reynor's map. Like, this was like Tokamak, that is Reynor's map. That is where he is going to be able to thrive the best. That's where he's going to have the most breathing room. I should mention as well that again, the maps, they do play a big part into the momentum of a lot of these players, into the aggression of Maru as well. And this is also where I do favor Reynor, as the final game of the ace match is going to be on ley lines. Let's go. Once again, ley lines is one of these more standard maps. At least I do expect a similar style to what we just saw in Tokamak, at least from Reynor. We'll see how Maru does adjust. Let's go. As this map is more standard, but it's not as defensive as Tokamak, of course. No other map is. So we'll see how our players do adjust. As spawning in the bottom hand corner of ley lines, we have our Italian Zerg player. We have the red Zerg representing Basilisk. It is Reynor. And spawning in the top right hand corner of ley lines, we have Maru for Team Vitality. Here we go. Now again, when it comes to gaining map control, when it comes to gaining momentum, when it comes to forcing your opponent to stay at home and to be contained back at home, like that is Tokamak. That is Tokamak in a nutshell. That is why Reynor was favored coming into Tokamak. Here, coming into ley lines, this is not as extreme. This map is not as extreme as Tokamak. So here, the bases are a little bit more vulnerable to each other, a bit of a shorter rush distance by ground. We do know that a lot of these center bases are quite exposed, especially in longer and later games. I guess similar to Tokamak in that sense. But this time, Maru does open up 2 ranks Reaper. Okay, now remember, the last time we saw Maru go 2 ranks Reaper, what did he do? He went 2 ranks Reaper into mech. That was on Ultra Love, if you remember. That was on Ultra Love, that was game 2. So we're leaning towards that again. If this was any other player, I'd be like, oh, 2 ranks Reaper into 2-1-1. That'd make the most sense in my mind. but that's not what we saw in Ultra Love, and just because of how Maru's been playing so far, we expect Mech as a follow-up from here as well. For now though, the Reapers are going to be massing. Thankfully, Reynor, he does not skip his gases, so he does go hatch gas pool. That means he'll have access to gas, he'll have access to link speed, and he'll be able to shut down the Reapers eventually. As a reminder, this is also not 3-Max Reaper. 3-Max Reaper is an option, is viable, but here we have Maru looking to expand. We go. There it is as the expansion for Maru again, so just 2-Max Reaper out of our Terran. As Maru, he will delay the third, not bad. A pretty good start actually. He delays the third base, he contains Reynor on 2 bases, which is the ideal, which is the purpose of 2-Max Reaper, is to contain. Oh, as the hatchery does complete. Yeah, rough moment there for Reynor as the hatchery does finish. Sorry, I keep saying hatchery. The extractor. The extractor does finish. Reapers into the natural. Reynor, he was attempting a run by actually with his lings, but he doesn't achieve too much. As Maru, he dives on that third base. He wants to force a cancel. Behind this is that factory. We have the add-ons, and are we going into an add-on slot from here? Are we going for a second factory? Are we going into bio for the first time this series? Do we start sim? Oh, Tech Lab is done. Tech Lab is done. Meanwhile, this base is getting very low. Jesus. Yeah, late link speed here for Reynor. Hatchery is cancelled. Massive pick of double eBay. He's playing bio. For the first time this series, double eBay, double upgrades. He is going into a 2-1-1. Okay. Maru. He can play. He can make Marines. He's lost his mind. Now a couple of things here. I should emphasize, this double eBay is really fast. This is really fast double eBay. That's double eBay before starport. Do you know what that means? That means 8-racks. This build from Maru screams 8-racks. For those who don't know what an 8-racks is, 8-racks is a 3-base all-in. You go up to 3 bases, you go up to 8 racks, you don't take your gases at the 3rd base, you don't get a 4th TC, and you rally mass Marine across the map. Mass Marine with a handful of tank production as well behind it to support. But it's hyper aggressive, hyper all in. That's what we're expecting here at Maru, just because of the fast E-base. This leads into a 2-2 timing. It's not about 1-1, it's about 2-2. So again, as the observer is pointing out, late starport out of Maru, fast double upgrades. Oh boy. So this is what Maru was very much so known for at DreamHack Dallas. It is what he flexed at DreamHack Dallas. It is what he also continued to do in GSL Season 2 as well, which Solo did hard counter. And a good read here by Reynor, +1 Carapace. +1 Carapace is on the way. So far, so good. But now, the biggest concern in my mind here, I believe Reynor can shut this down, for sure. But because of how draining and how fatiguing this series has been, and because of the non-stop mech, like, I don't know, like, where he is mentally right now when it comes to playing against bio instead of mech, right? Like, it's very much so a very stark contrast to how the series has been playing so far. It's a very, very different kind of setup, very different kind of game state. But again, so far with +1 Carapace, this tells us that he knows. Yeah, he sees all the Marines, he knows. So Reynor, he's locked in, and hopefully he can approach this with a fresh mind. Because it's not easy to defend against 8-racks. Right now we're getting up to 5. We have a 5-rack setup. We're still saturating the 3rd. 1-1 upgrades are done. And Maru, he is hitting that 1-1 timing with Hellbats, actually. Okay. Do we have any? No Banelings. Ooh, no Banelings to defend. No shot. Is this it? The Queens are moving in. Banelings are on the way. He needs to buy a little bit more time. So far, so good. Yeah, drones, they pull away. The hatchery taking a lot of damage. Bailey's just now about to morph in. Oh, but the hatchery is going to go down. Yeah, brutal pick off. Ay, ay, ay. That should not have happened. The base falls. Yes, Reynor, he deals with the army, but Maru, he got what he wanted. He got what he wanted. We can see Reynor is double expanding to try to catch up. He is double expanding. But this is going to slow Reynor down, and more importantly, this means less lava, less economy, less setup for the 8 racks. And here it comes. Do you see what I see? 3 more racks. That is the 8 racks coming into full force for Maru. Oh boy. So this is going to hit quite hard. As we mentioned, this is going to be a 2-2 timing. 2-2 is halfway done, and this is going to hit like a truck. And again, Maru, he needs as much Link Bane as possible to survive that. But he needs to set up first, so right now he's still droning. Getting up to 3.5 base saturation. See Maru making 9 Marines at a time. Now so just going for drop play. Targets down 1, 2, 3 Marines. There it is, 12 Marines at a time. And soon it's go time. And again, it's pure Marine tech. Like, this is a 3 base all-in. There's no further tech from here. There's no gases, no 4th TC. But this is designed to end the game. And it's going to be a tough hold for Reynor. Now, ideally, if Reynor can counterattack, if he can catch reinforcements, like, that would be a way to shut this down. Oh, or borrowed banelings. Okay, okay. Cheeky moves out of Reynor. I do like the borrowed banelings. There's a lot of potential with this. And you can see the Reynor is getting ready for a flank. Does spot the army. Can he catch the tanks unsieged? Ooh, not quite. A little bit too late. Yeah, a little bit too late. Scan reveals the borrowed banelings as well. That was potentially his moment. He does miss it. And Maru, he's going in for the kill. Yeah, Reynor, he cannot save the base. The base is going to go down. 2-2, of course, kicks in for Maru. Reynor, he has to back off. He has to back off. He's at least up to 80 drones. Drone up quite heavily. No! Scan reveals the borrowed banelings once again. Yeah, he just keeps on scanning. Tanks are pushing in. And Maru, he's almost maxed. He's almost maxed out. Yeah, catching out more banelings. We can see Reynor going for the counterattack, but this feels a little bit late. He will get a lot of SCVs, that is true, but can he stop the main army? As the wave of Marines are pushing forward. Takes down another expansion, and another, and another. And sure, Maru, he will lose his third, but it doesn't matter. does not matter. Takes out more hatcheries. These hatcheries are much more impactful just because this is the production of Reynor. So Reynor, he's supply blocked. He loses all of his production. Gonna try to engage with the tanks are sieged up. Yeah, and Maru, he's doing it. Maru, he's snowballing out of control. The ARAX does hit full force. Back at home, he will lose 20 SCVs. We can see Reynor trying to come back home. He gets some okay baneling connections, but they're only okay. It's catching reinforcements. Does get a couple of Marines. Just a couple. And Maru, his army is terrifying. He has double the army supply. Oh! The borrowed banelings. Can he bait him in? I mean, even if he does, I don't think it matters. Oh! Nice connection. Lings, they get into the main. They're forcing back some of the reinforcements. Okay. This is causing a bit of a nuisance here for Maru, but he can aim move at this point. He can stim, he can win. As again, it was just a really rough start for Reynor. We spoke about it. Losing his third base was brutal, like, especially against an 8 racks. Like, that many losses that early on, it's so difficult to recover from that. I don't want to say that was game then and there, but it was just an uphill battle for Reynor. From here, the queens are going to be falling. Maru pushing in. Yeah, and with that, you can see Reynor just accepting the game state. It was a very close series, very back and forth, very intense, but GG gets called, and Maru, he will take the series at 3-2, advancing on to the playoffs. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, a very intense back and forth between Maru and Reynor. Maru embracing mech every game until the final game. And once we saw the early double eBay, we did call that it was going to be an 8-Rax. Again, this is a build that Maru is known for. Reynor, he was aware he was trying to set up, but the first 1-1 timing did catch Reynor off guard. It caught me off guard as well. I'm referring to the Hellbat push. Winding it back, the moment here for this game was the 1-1 timing with Hellbats. If you remember, he caught Reynor with his pants down. Reynor, he had 0 banelings ready, and it was that push which killed the third. He killed the third base, he crippled the production, he crippled the economy early on for Reynor, which meant that Reynor had a shaky follow-up to get into the mid-game, to get ready for the eventual 2-2 timing, which was the real heavy hitter. So again, like, it was a shaky start for Reynor, very shaky. And GG. GG, well played. Maru, he will claim the series. He makes it through. Congratulations. Congratulations from Maru. And when it comes to his play here, if you remember at the start of the series, I was curious if he had evolved, if he had changed his style. The answer is no.
Thank you very much, boys and girls. That was one heck of a series. Congratulations, Maru. Sensational finish all the way to 5 games. But generally, I want to ask you regarding your playstyle. You played lots of mechs throughout this series. Do you think that mechs are better than bio at the moment, or do you think it's specific to maps or specific to your opponents?
일단 조선우 선수 승리 축하드리고요. 첫 번째 질문은 일단 굉장히 또 치열한 접전이었는데 이번 시리즈 내내 이제 메카닉을 좀 많이 쓰셨더라고요. 그래서 이게 맵 때문에 그런 건지 상대에 맞춘 전략인 건지 좀 궁금합니다.
일단 제가 바이오닉을 하면 좀 뻔한 것 같아서 메카닉을 준비했는데 1세트 해보고 잘 통하길래 오늘 괜찮겠구나 했는데 2세트 유리한 걸 져가지고 그때부터 조금 말렸지만 마지막 바이오닉으로 이겨서 좋은 것 같습니다.
Yeah, I mean, it was obvious if I do bio, so I try to turn the tide of that. But actually, it actually really worked really well. So maybe I'm getting lucky this time. But that being said, I lost the game. I threw the game 2 so hard that it's like I need to shift the bio in the last game, so it went well.
Regarding that game 2, how did you manage to recover from game 2 going into game 3? Were you also expecting an all-in so early in game 3?
이제 그 2세트에서 또 유리한 상황.
So Ultralove was the crazy back and forth.
마침 또 올인 전략.
Magnatha was the Ling Queen all-in.
올인 전략을 좀 어떻게 좀 대처하셨는지 궁금합니다.
솔직히 할 줄 몰라가지고 그 대군주 속옷 보고 눈치를 차렸는데 제가 애초에 빌드 싸움을 이긴 상태라서 그냥 침착하게 했던 것 같습니다.
Yeah, that was unexpected to me. I was really rattled that I barely saw it of the OV speed.
Yeah, you saw the OV speed on the right hand side.
That's the moment I saw the all-ins coming. But that being said, I was already ahead of the build, so I just, I can just defend it and I can win.
And you did manage to get the win at the end of the day. One final question for you. You were playing mechs throughout the entire series, and when it came to that final game, you switched to bio. Was that the plan all along?
이제 마지막으로 다시 돌아가서 이제 마지막 게임 때 결국에는 다시 바이오닉을 쓰셨잖아요. 그러면 이제 이 마지막 바이오닉은 상대방이 예상 못할 거다 이렇게 좀 생각을 하고 일부러 좀 쓰신 건지.
그런 생각은 안 했고 4세트 끝나고 생각을 좀 해봤는데 원래 쓰려던 전략이 이거였어가지고 그냥 자신 있어서 꺼냈습니다.
Well, that particularly didn't came to my mind, obviously. I mean, to be exact, but well, actually, I prepared this particular build in this series, so I just used it, and yeah, I think it went well.
I mean, definitely it went well. You managed to make it to the next stage. Top 8 for you now. Congratulations again, Maru. Thank you very much, Maddox, for joining us. Head on over to the studio. That was an insane series. And guess what? We still have more. And that wasn't even the match of the day. Yes, I know. It's crazy. So, studio, break down. What happened?
Calm down, Sal. Oh my God. It's crazy. GG, well played. But again, yeah, as I see Alive in the Wild asking in the chats, a lot of questions coming into the series. Yes, I had a lot of questions. I was curious if Maru was going to be adjusting or changing his style from what we saw in GSL. The answer is no, still the same, still purely Araxes and mech is what we saw here out of Maru. So he's been refining said play, and we saw an intense back and forth here. Of course, the one difference is that he relied a lot more on mech, that more so than on the Araxes in this series. That was definitely a little bit more unexpected. If you were watching him in GSL, he was doing this as well, but I guess we had less games from him in GSL against Solar, and yeah, he was able to make full use of that mech. Again, that game on Ultra was still probably the game of the series. It was a crazy comeback from Reynor, insane game on Ultra Love for sure. But GG, well played. It was good that we were able to hear from him, of course. He did, of course, mention as well when it comes to Magnatha. We pointed out when he saw the Overlord speed, and that's when he was able to react in time to defend against said all-in. He said himself that, yeah, he was already in a better position regardless, just because of his Hellion commitment that he had been going for. And yeah, he was able to just snowball out of control there in that final game. GG, well played. Now the question becomes, as we've seen him against Zerg, and again, he's still going for more or less the same kind of builds that he's been embracing as of late. Against Protoss, I'm curious as well. Against Protoss, he, at least leading into EWC when it comes to GSL, when it comes to DreamHack, he's been going for purely all-ins, pure 2-base all-ins out of Maru, so we'll be keeping an eye on Maru for that as well. Ay. Not like this. But otherwise, we are getting ready for our next series. Our next matchup. Again, congratulations to Maru. My condolences to Reynor. He's still in the tournament, of course, but we'll see if he can recover. Up next, we have Hero versus Cure in a PVT. Oh boy, this is gonna be a spicy one. This is gonna be a rematch. Actually, now would be a time to actually hear from the casting couch. Oh, hold on. I'll get him on for you. I'll get him on. What are they discussing?
Price to anyone, and that means now Reynor will be playing against Zaun down towards the bottom. I think again Reynor should be favored down there.
Yeah, there's no question about that. Like, look, Zaun is good. He's here. He deserves it. But Reynor does seem like he's another level. You know, watching Zaun's games earlier, I think his run through the tournament's almost over at this point, and it would be hard for me to imagine Zaun actually moving through here instead of Reynor.
Well,
they're discussing the lower
so
matches.
Far, so is Team Liquid and Vitality, with Clem and Maru going through as our first names to the round of A. What do you make of the bracket overall, State?
I mean, I feel like the favorites have mostly emerged victorious here. Clem and Maru obviously have been playing spectacularly. Clem even bringing out the Protoss versus Bjorn has been really thrilling to see. I'm looking forward to seeing Clem on a big stage, like a best of 7, try and deliver that PVT if it comes to it. But I set on Reynor versus Zaun and Solar versus Shin. I totally agree with both of you that Reynor probably favored there. I do like Zaun's play a lot.
Oh, that's Cure.
He looked very good against Bjorn, but I just think that Reynor, if he plays the way that he did versus Maru against everybody else in this tournament, I'm not sure who else can stop him.
And there's
What's
Hero.
better than having one GSL Finals rematch from yesterday, it's having a second GSL Finals rematch, as we are going to have Hero and Cure coming up next on the main stage. You can see them both arriving. I do love Hero's glasses. He looks cuter than ever before. How is that possible?
No, he's not just cute, he's cool as can be as well. I'll never forget when he rode his skateboard to the GSL studio and won the tournament. Like this.
Let's go.
He's just the coolest guy that there is, man, and he's so happy to.
All right, it's time for a break. When we return,
amazing.
Here, Hero versus Cure, Twisted Minds versus Team Liquid.
But yes, when it comes to Hero versus Cure, it's going to be an interesting one to keep an eye on, just because we've seen so little from Hero as of late. So that's going to be another one where I know that Hero has been preparing a lot of builds. Meanwhile, Cure, if we recall, yesterday in the broadcast, he was hyper aggressive against Showtime. Cure went for 2 base all-ins and 1 base all-ins. It almost felt like, hey, it was like 3 months ago again in GSL Season 1. If you remember, we had non-stop all-ins there as well. So I'll be honest, I think this is going to be a short series. I can see both Cure and Hero being hyper aggressive in this upcoming match. So I'm really curious to see if they meet those expectations, if that trend does continue here as well. When it comes to the rest of the brackets, I'll probably lean towards what they were saying, where I do favor Reynor coming in against Zaun. Solo versus Shin is going to be chaotic. It's going to be crazy. I don't know who to favor there at all. And when it comes to what they said about, like, oh, for the most part, like, favorite players that made it through, I mostly agree. Like, I was favoring Clem and Reynor, to be honest. I think winding it back to Reynor versus Maru, I was not expecting Maru to rely as heavily as he did with mech, as much as he did. I don't think Reynor was either. So it was especially game 2. Remember, I'm still thinking about Ultra Love. It was 2x Reaper into mech. Like, it was crazy, which we have been seeing a little bit more as of late. I think Gumiho, he was recently doing that as well. But, like, that was just a wild setup there from Maru. So, yeah, has been embracing a lot more mech as well. And we'll see if we get to experience more of Maru's TvZ moving forward. Outside of Reynor, like, the next big challenge will be Serral if they ever do face. But I'm getting ahead of myself. For now, we're going to be going on a break. And when we come back, we'll have a next series. We will have Hero versus Cure. See you soon after the break. I'm going to go make some tea. Gonna go make some tea, Pappy. Make some tea.